So again, this is the actual tweet coming in. It said, understand that Liverpool is definitely not in the race for João Palhinha. He's not a transfer target in the winter. Crucial days for him now, as many other top clubs want him in January. Talks ongoing. FC Bayern still want to sign a new number 6. However, internally, he's considered too expensive. So that was the tweet from Florian Plettenberg. Now, there's a couple of sentences in there that worry me again. Other top clubs are interested in him. And yet we're what? Rolling the dice? Like, whatever we say, 2 players are out of contract next summer. Thiago and Matip. Matip's out for the season, and Thiago still hasn't got back to playing yet, although he's getting closer. So, we should be planning for those 2 areas, in my opinion, anyway. And right now, seems as good a time as any to go out there and get a centre-back. So, the whole thing confuses me, and I get sick of talking about lack of ambition, but it feels like we have a lack of ambition. How many times do we have to roll the dice in the winter with cheap signings or sticking plasters before we realise it isn't the answer? It wasn't the answer with Arthur Melo, it wasn't the answer with Ben Davies, Ozan Kabak, and it won't be the answer now if we do the same thing again. You know, we're going up against a team in Arsenal who've got one out there and brought in Declan Rice, who are looking to bring in a centre forward, who have done what I said at the start of this stream, which is go out there and target specific areas and bring in the best you can get. So why aren't we doing it? Palhinha's too old for what Liverpool are looking for. Fair enough. But that's just one player, mate. Palhinha might be too old. Andre isn't. So how do we get from the situation where in the summer we wanted Andre, and then when he becomes available, once again, it's like, well, no, we've no interest. It feels weird. Just seems they are happy with top 4, said Jack. And also, they're being very active elsewhere, Jack. So this week, we've seen that the PGA have come to an agreement with a group of investors from the States, including FSG, for investment into the PGA Tour. We've also got the news that they're probably going to be involved in the NBA franchise that come towards Vegas. And at what point, I think we as Liverpool fans have every right to say, when the fuck do we act like a big club? When do we go out there and make these statements like, I want to win the league? I know you guys want to win the league. Does this feel like giving ourselves the best chance to do it? Like, none of us want the club to be in financial hardship. None of us want us to overspend. But we're nowhere near any FFP issues. None. The Premier League and Europe want clubs to spend no more than 70% of their income on wages. And we're at about 60, last time I checked, about 62, 63. So we've got lots of wiggle room there. So that's not the issue. And if you've seen Todd Bowley spending a load of money, granted not all well, but spending it, you see Arsenal bringing in a £100+ million midfielder. You see Chelsea bringing in two £100+ million midfielders. You see Manchester City bringing in the Haalands of this world. How can we compete with that if we don't go for the best we can afford? It just feels counterproductive. And there's only so many gems that Jurgen's going to be able to unearth, so many rough diamonds he's going to be able to polish. These things take time. The title race is here and now. I want us to win it. Cahill said, owners crying Portsmouth again. Same BS every window. Yeah, I know. But if I become critical, mate, I get slaughtered. So I'm almost afraid to be myself on streams lately because the knives are out. And if I say anything, if I'm me, if I'm honest, if I'm sincere, I get slaughtered for it. I get called a fake fan. I get called an asshole. But my opinion is that John W. Henry is a cheap fuck. That's my genuine opinion. And I think Jurgen's part of this problem as well, because he's too accepting of it all. And at the end of the day, it's his legacy, his time at Liverpool. And I want Jurgen to look back and have as many trophies as we could have possibly given him in his reign. And I don't feel like we're giving him the best opportunity to do that. But he doesn't help when he comes out with some of the nonsense that he comes out with. Tell me a midfielder that could improve our midfield. I could tell you 20. Tell me a club who wants to sell a top centre half in January. Well, nobody does, Jurgen, but that's why the bigger clubs are the bigger clubs, because they come in and say, "Want to come play for Liverpool?" And the player goes, "Yeah." And then we go to the selling club. Well, okay, we've give you a little bit more because it's January, so be it. But that's one of the pros of being one of the big boys, is you get to throw your fucking weight around. And I don't see Liverpool throwing their weight around enough. I think we all believe John W. Henry's cheapskate, said Zinedine. Yeah, fair, mate, fair. I just struggle to comprehend not doing our best to win everything. And I get that Jurgen will say he's got the players he's got and he's happy to coach them. I get that. I understand that. But these players only have one career. And they want to win stuff. And if we want to be an attractive destination, and we want to continue to attract both the best young players who are looking for their future in their career and looking for a pathway, and the best players that are doing the rounds now, you got to keep winning. They want to come to a club winning silverware. They want to know that their ambitions and their dreams can be met at Liverpool Football Club. And we as fans don't give a shit if we finish second, third or fourth. It's all the same to us. It's win the league or Champions League. There is no other things. And I want to win the league. I want to win the league. I want Jurgen Klopp and those players to have that moment of celebrating with the fans that they were unfortunate not to have during the COVID league win. And I don't feel like the owners are giving them the best chance. And sometimes I feel like, as much as I understand Jurgen as a difficult tightrope to walk, I just wish he'd push back against them a little bit, because he'd have the full support of the fan base. Because we all see what others are doing, and we all see that we seem to be lagging a little bit behind, and it's frustrating because at the end of this season, 2 years left of Jurgen, and if we don't win the league title this year, it'll feel like a missed opportunity to me. And I'm not arrogant enough to think we're just going to walk to a league title, but the opportunity has presented itself this year. The inconsistency of Manchester City, the competitive nature of the league. You've got Villa, Arsenal, Liverpool, City, and then Newcastle coming back up. They're all taking points off each other. So somebody has to grab it by the scruff of the neck. Why not us? Mark said, Craig, I agree 100% with you. FSG are definitely not serious about Liverpool being serial winners. I think that's a fair statement. Like, I get it. As long as the Champions League money keeps ticking in. But that's a risky game to play, as we found out last year. You can't just keep relying on thirds, fourths, getting yourself into the Champions League. It's great and all, don't get me wrong. We all love Champions League football. But sooner or later you get caught out playing that game. And we got caught out last year.